Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay, sure. So what we did is called mentor, and for this project, we basically link people through a tag, and we can create associativity between people by maybe if they have a same tag, then in our server, if I send a query to my server, it can help me get all the people that I want with the same tag. So that's the basic idea of our project. Yeah. So just a quick example. Let's say if I take this course as an example, and the professor is obviously flexible, and this course will be on winter quarter 2022, and the course tag will be ecs251, and the student will be Ling Shen and Pinting Liu and Yishan Chu. For this relation, so far we have 4 people and 2 different tags. 4 people and 2 different tags, which the first tag will be winter 2022, and the second tag will be ECS 251. So with this example, we can assign a 2 tag for the 4 people that just mentioned. And as you can see from this graphic, each people have 2 tags, which is the 2 tag about this course in winter quarter 2022, and the course ID will be ECS 251. So with this tag, once I want to find out the relationship between people, I can use the tag I can send the query to my server and gather the data I want with the same tag at the same time. So let's say I want to find out how many people enrolled in winter 2022. So I can send my tag winter 2022 into my server. It will show me all the people who actually enroll in UC database, and with the same common tag winter 2022. So basically, this is the graphic that we use to show our API or project. Yeah. So a data source, which is like I just mentioned, it will be people with tag. And once I have a new relationship update, let's say 3 of us have another course about in the same quarter, which is ECS 201A. And once I create this tag, 3 of us will update the data to my server. And if my client try to figure out how many comments we have about these 3 people, you can send the query to the server, and the server will actually respond to him about how many common tag my 3 people have, or he can use the tag to find the people with in common. Yeah, so that's the quick demonstration graphic and relationship about our project.
And I also want to mention is that the model part from the right-hand side is the 3 models, and one is the tag, and one is the user, and the last one is the group. So basically in our system have 3 different model, and the field which is the tag has 4 different tag, and the users is the and the users has the relationships to the user model, and it is many to many relationship, and the group is a foreign link and link to the group model. So here is the first version of our project. Yeah, that yeah.
So I want to further talk about, because we obviously we just make a simple situation here, which is about the cost, and we only got we just make up a very simple example about how we can use this tag on the cost. Instead, we can actually further update our model. I mean, in future, we can further update our model to be like, if I want to come up with the tag, like I have a conference, and maybe some of the people actually participate in this conference, and we can use the time just like this, winter, or maybe in month, April, June, July, and so far. And we can use this kind of tag to further expand the relationship group. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a like a prototype implementation?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if you have other things to talk about, because I thought that's your last slide, right?
yeah. We just like I said, we'll make a show slide to
Sure.
simply demonstrate the.
Good. I understand that.
So I will stop sharing, and Yushen will give the demonstration about the prototype.
Yeah. So let me share my screen. Right. So well. All right. So as you can see here, this is the user list. So this part record the users here. So same as the same in the previous example. So we put four users here. So 5 users. Yeah, and another one is the last one is the Peter Wang, and this is like a fake user. Yeah, but just simple data. So we have user, and we also have the tag list, and we also have a group list. And here, as you can see, I've already add the tag on each of the user. So as you can see here, like my Yushen Lin, that is me, I have 2 tags, which is the ecs251 and the winter 2012. And Pinting Liu also has 2 tags, and same as the Yixiang Qiu and Felix Wu, which is the professor. Yeah. And here we can see from the tag resource URI, and we can access the tag, and we can see the tag ECS251 has three members has this tag, and for the winter 2012, there are also three members have this tag, and we also implement if we want to add a new tag. Okay, let's say we want to add an test a test tag, and we use this fake user, which is ID 8. All right, I'm going to add him into this test tag. Okay, so we can see this person has been added to the test tag. So yeah, and we can also do something like update this tag. Like if I want to let's say if usually need to be removed from the ecs251. So how can I do that? Is that we also implement this function, that is, we can update this link. So let's see. So here the ID is 4. 3, 5, 6. Oops. Oh. See. Oh. Yeah, I think there's something. Okay, let me use another example, which is I just established a test tag, and Peter Warnout is in this group, and I want to like say it. I also want to join one other members into this have this tag. So how can I do this? Is that so I can basically, this is 8. All right, so I add 2 more people into this group. So as you can see here, so here are 2 more members in this group, and that's basically what we are done in this project right now.
Okay, thank you. So let me ask a few questions. Before I started, you might want to take a look at the project. I will believe is project number 4, which is I already upload their video. They're also doing some kind of tagging, but they're tagging like automated tagging for any object or file. They're not looking at people particularly, but that's certain. Certainly there is some relationship. You can actually take a look. So let me actually ask you a few questions here. The first question I want to ask you is that for the tagging, I'm assuming that each of the tagging that you have belong to individual user. So for example, in your example, the tagging will have 4 people who belong to the same group. But 2 of the members, say Ping Ting and Yu Xuan, you might want to actually tag the relationship of ECS251 differently. So I'm just wondering, is that true that the tagging that whatever you have is mainly for individual person. So for example, from my view, that this 4 people form a group called ecs251, but other member that's actually mentioned there, they might have a different view about. So what do you think about that?
So I think if you mentioned a different view, because yeah, this version we're not doing anything like filtering the authorization for a specific user.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this,
Well,
this
the reason I asked that question is sometimes we might view our relationship somewhat differently from different perspective. And while we might or might not want to share about our view, right? For example, I don't want to include a particular member in this membership, and where some other feel that this member should be included. I mean, the reason this issue is critical is that how we're going to use this tagging. For example, I want to use this tagging to send out message, right? I want to send a message to all 4 people, but when one of you respond, if that person, he want to exclude one member, then how will he handle this situation when I actually treat all 4 people are in the same group? So I send a message, but when he reply back to the rest, he realized he doesn't want that particular person to be actually included in this conversation. And in that case, that's actually kind of tricky. And then, but the thing is that with this kind of tagging, depending on, okay, I guess I want to ask this question: how you're going to use this tag? I mean, how you propose to use this information, the tagging information, to do what?
I think about the previous question. Yeah, so currently we didn't have a filter, just like you should say, we can build out part of the relationship in the SAM tagging. But since each of my object have its own individual ID, so I think our prototype is extendable to further make a filter. As long as I can keep tracking which IDs belong to which one, I can use my ID to filter out the people that I don't want to view in this particular relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just, this is actually certainly not something you have we already communicated. This is new. It's a bit challenging. I just remember when I look at your presentation, I know there is at least one social media assistant that I have been an active user, and it turned out that sometimes we can detect if another member is blocking another member. So for example, I actually send a message to everybody in this group, but some of the people actually block some other member because they don't feel happy about those other people, and such that you actually see the communication gap. So I send everything, everybody respond, but then somebody, when they respond, they didn't realize they set the blocking or blocking some other member. And then we will see that somebody actually later realized, saying that, hey, how come I didn't know this part of the discussion? And some of them even share their the screenshot. And then in that case, we realized that, oh, wait a minute, you actually block. I mean, we didn't say that, but by looking at understand the application, we actually understand that, oh, you have a problem with this guy because you block him. That's why you didn't got that message. So that kind of things will happen in your proposed scheme. That's why I'm thinking, well, then how do you actually be able to take care of that? Yeah. Okay. So that's actually one thing. Just for you to think about this. Let me see. Why I got this is here. But the second question I want to ask is that right now you have a tag that your tag has, say, in your example is ecs251 and winter 2022. So winter 2022, in fact, is an interesting tag because it represents not only a concept, but also a time. That's actually you were together in winter of 2022. So my question to all of you is that why not consider to add a time or duration of time for each of the tag?
Professor, for my opinion, my first thought was that it happens to be that this tag is for the registration for each student or the teacher who deliver a lecture at that time. It's not a specific time span. It's just indicates that this quarter that the student has registered the course of, for example, ECS 251, and the professor has delivered the lecture here.
Yeah, I think it really depending on the application you're going to use that registration information. Because, for example, the time, if the time is actually included, you might be able to represent some relationship that's actually not the long term, but with some period of time that this relationship can be used for a certain purpose. And
Yeah.
if you are out of that, then so the time is always a enhancement about what you can represent about that relationship. Okay. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. I think somebody wants to say something.
Yes. I just think, yeah, maybe we can still add a tag like to represent the period of time in that is effect in this for this tag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a further complicated timing tag, but as long as we can use a certain format of the time, I think we can create something that Professor just mentioned, which is two people. Let's say I stay in the US since last September, and the professor may say stay in the state further than I do. So we have an intersection from the last September until now. So if we can create a further complicated timing tag, I think it's also a viable thing for us to.
I mean, just as an example, if we have some student who actually join ECS 251 initially, but he decides to drop the course. So he only stayed in this class for 3 weeks. So essentially his relationship with others as a professor and student relationship is actually only for 3 weeks. So he will be entitled to access all the material, the benefit for that 3 weeks. But after that, his relationship is not as the same as other member who stay in the class. So with that, you can actually represent some of the more dynamics information.
Yeah,
okay.
In this case, I can think of actually we can create a new tag for this person. So I think that's the flexibility of using the tag to represent any like whether you want to represent it by time or by a certain kind of the place. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a representation issue. You either introduce time or introduce another text to separate the group, right?
Yes. Yes.
You have to decide which way is more suitable for that
Yes.
purpose. Yeah. So my experience is that having time is always enrich the semantics about the tag. Having if you think about pretty much everything that's actually that using social media, they usually have a timestamp to go with some of the status change or relationship, and it's always helpful for us to do that. Okay. Okay, I don't have any further question, and thank you very much. This is interesting. Um, uh, I will. By the way, you guys done with homework 2, homework 3? I forgot.
Not yet. We're not
Not yet.
demonstrate
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put it here. So I will get get you guys to do the homework 2, homework 3 with when I get back from the TA. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much for your hard work. It's interesting. Yeah, you
I have
go
a
ahead.
question. Yeah, so we have to further sign up for the TA Doodle and do the homework.
Yeah, I try to do
demonstration, right?
that. If by the end of today,